So here we are. We have just done our civic duty of voting for our President of the United States in the 2016 presidential election. Now, some of you may be saying, well, the vote didn't go my way. And that's okay. That's okay. There are quite a number of people in our country saying the vote didn't go their way. And the feelings around this are quite extreme. On one end of the spectrum, you have folks who are elated. And then you have folks on the other side of the spectrum that feel stark, raving terror. Now, we can presume that those who are on the side of elation are feeling filled with hope and excitement that this president will make America great again. They believe that with every fiber of their being, as well as those who are on the other end of the spectrum, feeling terror that their very lives, existence, way of being is being threatened. Wherever you are on that spectrum, I invite you to feel it, to be honest in your feelings with it. And when I say that, I don't mean doing what we do in Unity when we positize things, and that's a made-up word. But you know what I'm talking about. We put that Unity, it's all good spin on something before that is our truth that we are walking in. And then we wonder why we're not authentic. Well, you can't be authentic unless you are true in what you feel and you are. So if you're angry, be angry. If you feel apathetic, feel apathetic. If you feel elated, without the judgments, without trying to blame, shame someone for what they feel. There's no guilt in that feeling. Feel it. And then, when you are ready, take stock. And what I'm suggesting is that you take stock on multiple levels. The first taking stock is looking at the thoughts that you have in your mind. What thoughts are running in your mind that are creating the feelings that you're feeling? And ask yourself one question when you identify what those thoughts are. Are they truth with a capital T? Are they of principle? Are they of who and what you are? Are they in alignment with the universe? And if the answer to that is yes, then you are more than likely operating from and of the frequency of love. Did you hear that? If your answer is, no, not really, I could rationalize it, but I know that's not the truth, then the next work is, where are those thoughts coming from? Are those thoughts from the past because something has triggered your past and your history? Are those thoughts coming from a place of just fear? And we know the power that fear can have. Are those thoughts coming from the meaning that we make out of situations? Because you know we're meaning-making machines, right? So have we taken the sound bites that we have been fed from the media and created a story and have that story growing and growing and growing and made some kind of bridge of Armageddon? That's the work that is ours to do when we take stock. And once we've done that inner work of taking stock of who and what we are and what we believe, then we take stock of what's around us. We take stock of the systems that are in place. When I say systems, I'm thinking things like our political system. Is our political system working the way that we envisioned it, the way that our founding fathers envisioned it to work? When I say system, I'm talking about economic systems. Are the economic systems that are running this country equal and fair and everyone feels filled with hope and prosperity and abundance? When I say systems, I'm talking about things like education systems. Are the education systems in place for each and every person who wants to learn and shift and grow on equal levels? That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about taking stock. And then we have decisions to make. Do we honor those systems, or do we not honor those systems? And then, how does that look if we honor or we don't honor? How does that play itself out? The dictionary defines honor as respect, respecting someone who is admirable. It also says having a good reputation as seen by others, as well as behaving from a high moral standard. Behaving from a high moral standard. So today, this week, we have been talking about the President of the United States. The choice is, do you honor him or not? Do you honor the person, or do you honor the office of the United States of America? Do you honor that? Those are decisions that you have to make. Those systems that I talked about, do you honor those systems? If you see that they are worthy systems that are in place, then you have a choice to love what is. And if they are not worthy, if you feel they are not creating a world that works for all, then you have another choice. The choice to change it. Not from a place of resistance, but from a place of creating and manifesting what your vision is. Do you hear the difference? Not protesting against, but creating from and to. Or you can choose to do nothing. You can choose to just say, I accept what is. But if you make that decision, make it from a place of consciousness. Make it from a place of awareness, an awakened state of consciousness, so that if you choose that, you know why, and you are clear, and you are comfortable with the decision that you make. Everyone with me? I'm sorry, is everyone with me? Yes. Okay, thank you. We also can choose what this country looks like, what this country feels like. A couple of those choices are patriotism versus nationalism. Now, often, those words are used interchangeably, but they aren't. They're not synonymous. And I found this book that's written by Maurizio Viroli. Don't you love that name? And he wrote the book, For the Love of Country, an essay on patriotism and nationalism. And he has a quote here that defines patriotism quite well. This form of patriotism, we're talking about constitutional patriotism, recognizes the full legitimacy and moral worth of different forms of life and is committed to the inclusion of different cultures within the framework of the Republic. What that says is that all are welcome. Everyone is welcome to the table as equals. Everyone has worth. And there's an acceptance of the differences are so vital for our community's wholeness. So it's an inclusion of the differences, not an homogenization, but seeing each difference as something worthy and valuable that is adding to the growth of who and what we are, Ooh, that's powerful. He also has a definition about nationalism. The language of nationalism was forced in the late 18th century Europe to defend or reinforce the cultural, linguistic, and ethnic oneness and homogeny of a people. Notice the difference there. This is where the myth of a people come into being, where ethnocentrism has value in nationalism. And then the last quote on here that I want to bring to your attention is, this is by Jonah Goldberg, and what I liked about it is he defines the kind of difference in the thinking between patriotism and nationalism. Patriotism is attached to the creeds, the texts, and ideas of our founding. Nationalism is tribal. Loyalty to blood, loyalty to soil, loyalty to sect. So there's quite a difference when you look at patriotism versus nationalism. And then the question is, well, can't nationalism unite a people? The short answer is yes. The long answer is yes, by creating an us versus them mentality. It's usually against something, someone else. So, you have a choice to honor or not to honor. The choice is yours, what you do with that. You have a choice of choosing to be a patriot or to be nationalistic. You have a choice to resist or allow. You have a choice to see that the collective consciousness of this country is what it is, as opposed to going, I can't believe they would think that way. I can't believe they would vote that way. I can't believe that racism exists. It is. It's here. So you can choose to honor it or not. You can also choose to see those who think differently than you do with empathy and with love. Or you can choose to judge and condemn. The choice is yours. But in all this choosing, I'm going to bring you to the last slide that I have. Whatever you choose, guess what? There's no evil. There is no evil. We know this. We are metaphysicians. We know that there's no evil, but we walk out that door and all of a sudden it's like the evil is upon us. There is no evil. What there are some folks who are so afraid that they react from that level of consciousness. And there are also folks who are the frequency of love, who will do everything to align with that, and they respond with kindness. The choice is yours. Who do you want to be? What path do you want to go down? And so I invite you to ponder these thoughts, these ideas,